In the past month, I've been working with a new coach, and I have learned possibly the most valuable business lesson that I've ever discovered in my close to 2 decades of being an entrepreneur. If you're struggling to find the answer to a big decision in your life, like what should I do with my life or what direction should I go in with my business, this video is going to show you a new way to find the answers to those questions that you may have never thought of before. My whole life, anytime I've sought a new answer, I always go to books and podcasts and YouTube videos like Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson. This is a fantastic book. It's a very strategic book on how to build an expert business. And while this type of advice is sometimes useful, to be honest with you, a lot of the times I'm not really doing much with the information. I'm just sort of hoarding the information, and I'm not actually having that breakthrough or finding that piece of wisdom that I'm looking for. And as a side effect, I realize that I've just been wearing myself down in the process, constant learning, just a barrage of information going through my brain at all times, 7 days a week. Every time I go on a walk, I listen to a podcast. I go on a freaking vacation and I'm, reading a nonfiction book by the pool. And this type of information has its merit. Like if you need to know exactly the messaging that's going to go inside of your sales funnel to sell your coaching program, you're going to need to learn some surface level strategies like Russell Brunson has in this book. So if you're seeking information about something that's very tactical and on the surface, then learning something that's outside of you and using your head thinking to solve that problem is the answer. However, many of life's most important decisions that really shape your future, like what should I do with my life? What would bring me joy? And which type of partner do I seek? And do I want to have kids or not? Big questions in life cannot be answered through seeking information on the outside. To be more specific, they cannot be answered through the thoughts, through the gathering of information and having it jumble around in your head. So where am I going with all this? Well, the new coach that I have been working with, his name is Thomas. I will put his website in the description down below. He has helped me see the real wisdom in life where you just get those, those intuitive signals that just push you in the right direction. Those don't come from your head. They actually come from a place that is 12 inches away from your head, a mere 12 inches. That is your heart. That's right. What I have learned is that when I'm seeking the answer to something, 90% of the time, my heart knows the answer. And then 10% of the time, if I need to learn the strategy behind building a successful book funnel, I'm going to need some head stuff in order to figure that out. So if you're trying to discover like the answer to a big question in your business, like what's my personal brand and what's my ideal niche, or what am I going to really have fun doing when it comes to creating content and putting myself online authentically, you really can't find those answers by watching more YouTube videos. You actually have to search within. And I know this sounds so woo-woo, so tinfoil hat. So let me just share with you how I actually do this. Let's say that I'm not having as much fun as I used to in my business. Like what would be really fun for me and what would bring me a lot more joy? How do I need to restructure things in order for that to happen? Literally what I would do is I'd ask that question of myself, and then I would close my eyes and just place my attention on my heart. I know this sounds crazy, but I believe that your heart is a source of wisdom that gives you the answers as to where you really want to go in life, and what's really important to you. And it kind of gushes up from your heart. It wells up and you get this fleeting thought, in your brain, and you go, that's it. And so I know this is a bit of a weird YouTube video, but I don't care because I think it's important that you guys, understand this. It's really changed my life. I just sit with my eyes closed like I'm doing now. I just feel into my heart space and I say, what would bring me joy? And I hold my attention on my heart space and I just wait. And I try to disengage my thinking mind because the answer won't come from the brain, but it may end there just so that you can actually grasp it and have something to cling to, like a concrete answer. But you don't try to find it through thinking, and it'll eventually come. So your brain is like a computer. Your brain just has the information that it's been given through life experience, through learning, talking with other people. It's like all these folders with files and, it has ways of thinking about the world and different paradigms and frameworks and things like that. It's like your computer, but your computer is not you, like the actual laptop or whatever you have. It's just an external device that you use to get more leverage and make things faster and better. Think of your brain and the thoughts that it produces like that. It's a computer in your body that's essential, of course. However, it did not come stored with the software to inform you what you should be doing with your life and what's going to make you happy and what's next for you. Who are the people that you want in your life? Like the really big, important decisions, they don't come from your head. They do not come from your personal computer. I'm learning that the path to being successful in business is a spiritual path. It's a path of slowing down and getting out of our heads, getting into our bodies. Ironically, this is just a good thing to do, even if you don't need any answers or you're not an entrepreneur. It's also the path to find inner peace. It's the path for feelings like joy and gratitude to bubble up more naturally and spontaneously in your days, just having more inspiration or getting into a flow state. Like if you're writing at the coffee shop, you drop into your body and then that creativity just starts to flow. That's what flow state is. That can't happen if your brain is just thinking, getting in the way. It's like your computer has 27 tabs open and the whole thing is just slowing it down. So when you're seeking an answer, which we're almost always seeking some type of answer, right? I know I am. The first question to ask is this an answer that my head can solve? Is there a certain amount of thinking and sorting through the files in my brain that's actually going to produce me with the answer? Or do I need to add more files and folders because, Russell Brunson has the answer in his book? Or is this one of those deeper questions? And if your question is like, how do I build a website? Yeah, you're going to need to add some files and folders through learning, how to build a website, but you're still going to have to design the website to be authentic to you and represent you and your brand and be real and fun and how you like it. Those are not going to come from your head. So you need heart wisdom even for how to build a website to color it in. And so really there's rarely decisions that need to be made where your heart cannot provide you with guidance. The more you can learn to live from here instead of here, the more everything starts to calm down. The more you start to feel better, the answers to everything just seem to roll out in front of you and be more obvious, brings the joy back into your creativity. It's totally changing my life. And so I wanted to share this with you today because I think it will help some of you out there who have been searching for important answers in your life, but you've been looking in the wrong place like I have for years and years and years. Just take a moment today, get off the internet, go meditate, feel into your heart space, ask your heart to provide you with the answer. I know it sounds crazy, but just try it for 10 or 20 minutes. Worst case scenario, it won't work, but you'll get a little meditation in. Let me know if you tried it, what your heart told you. I would love to hear what you learned down in the comments. I hope you liked this video. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate your support. I'll see you in the next one.